Hi guys, welcome back, and hopefully you recapped this whole major, minor and diminished chord constructions thing. Now, they're your first main three triad chords because they've got three notes, and that's that, essentially. Now, what we're going to look at today is the start of a suspended series. So you've basically got a Sus2 and a Sus4 chord, okay? So you'll have seen these probably all over the place. They're really common in folk music and blues and rock and pretty much everywhere because they're just so usable, okay? So what we're going to first of all do is we're going to talk about Sus2 and we're going to do the formula for it, and then we're just going to talk about the practical uses of it. So we come back to the blue pen and we have our C major scale again. So again, we're looking very much at C Sus2 here. Okay? If you want a D Sus2 or an E Sus2, you write the D major scale or the E major scale and apply the formula we're about to do. Okay? So let's have a little look at this. So a sus chord is essentially short for suspended. So I'm going to write suspended. Okay? Suspended. Okay? Hopefully I can spell. And again, we're looking at suspended second chords. So, you know, that's the official name for it, but you'll see it written just simply Sus2, like that, okay? Nice and simple. So, what is a suspended 2? Well, it looks like this. 1, 2, 5, okay? So let's just digest that information for a second. Suspended essentially means take the 3, okay? Because in all the chords so far, we've had this kind of strict formula, 1, 3, 5, and then you either alter the 3 or alter the 5 or something like that, okay? Here, with suspended chords, you take the 3, get rid of it, so suspend it, and replace it with the second, okay? So again, the chord in itself is kind of like an instruction. You suspend the third and add the second, I guess, is a nice simple way of thinking about it. Now, let's just have a look at that. What that means in terms of actually creating a C Sus2. We take the C, so that's the 1. Now we take the 2, so that's the D. And then we take the 5, which is the G. Okay? So, these chords are great because essentially what you've lost, you've kind of got rid of this third. And this third really defines something as a major or a minor, doesn't it? Because you've got, if it's a third, a major third, it immediately sounds major. If it's a flat third, then it immediately sounds minor, or maybe even diminished if you also add a flat 5 as well. Now, because we haven't got a third here, we've got a chord that's a little bit ambiguous. It can be used with both the minors and the majors, and you'll very, very often see it as a kind of melodic note. So here's your kind of really obvious picture of this. Play a D major chord. Okay, and then, you know, when you're just kind of strumming that D major and then you kind of get rid of your second finger and you have an open string at the bottom, that becomes a D Sus2. Okay, so it's one of those things that all acoustic guitarists end up playing at some point. And the reason it sounds so great is because you haven't got the third. So you're kind of not defining the chord as major or minor anymore. You're kind of giving it a little bit of a melodic note, which eventually you'll probably bring back the third again. So you suspend the second for a little bit and then bring back the third and it sounds major again or minor again or whichever you do. So these chords are great. If you put those 3 notes together on the guitar now, anywhere, you will have a C Sus2 chord. Simple as that. Again, if you want to try and experiment with this and really make sure it's going into your head, then try and do, for example, an E Sus2. How would it work? Very simple. You'd go through this process. Write out the E major scale, okay? So if you're not sure about the E major scale, then of course, just write E here and then do the formula. Tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone, okay? It should be relatively simple to kind of get the E major scale out. In terms of long term, you'd be wanting to start to remember those major scales. So, you know, you'd remember that D has 2 sharps and then gradually you kind of remember each and every single major scale, okay? But that will take time. Just do it like this for now. Then you apply your formula. So you take the first, the second, and the fifth of whatever scale you've written out there, and you've got yourself that Sus2 chord, okay? So that pretty much wraps up suspended second chords or Sus2 chords, and that gives you a 4th triad. Again, it's just got 3 notes in it, so it's a triad chord. And next time, we'll look at Sus4.